audio issues. But anyways, let me just get on with this. Let me go in and put the links here so we know what's happening. Yeah, this was some form of an issue that we were facing. So sorry about that. Yeah, let's just wait for some time for everyone to join in. Let me just go ahead and put in the. Yeah, I think now, I mean, we had some form of a problem. So sorry about that. We weren't able to go live. We were just clicking on it, but it was not going live. Some issue. Yeah, they don't want to hear the Israel Iran story today. Could be it. Yeah, let me just try putting in a description and go ahead and put in all the other stuff. So we have everyone with us by then. Mm. Yeah, so it's going to be a fun day. We're down about what, 2%, or maybe less than a percent now. I remember almost 1.8% before, but doesn't look like it's that much that bad. Yeah, nice to see you. So we got that. Let me just go ahead. I think it was some crazy stuff with the live. Man. What are we at? 21,653 on the Nasdaq. Percent down. S&P 500 is down by only 0.8, so it's not too much. We might have to do the 4%. I remember seeing them down 4%. Yeah. Just message if you guys can hear us clearly. If all is good that way. Uh, I'm hoping there's no echo. There's some stuff that happened with that National Guard also. Oh, perfect. Hello there, Wage Freedom. Sorry, we had some issue in the whole going live. It just didn't allow us to go live. So what Sean's saying is it's a story that the internet didn't want us to talk about Israel and Iran. So it sent their own particular drone to stop us. Yeah, let me go see if I can get the poll also so we can get that started and then we can go ahead. But it's been pretty crazy in all seriousness. How much are we down now, Sean? I don't think we're down too much, so looks pretty good. The market is recovered almost a percent from its lows, so that seems pretty likely. Apple, for all that people say, is up 0.21%. So that's the one in the Nasdaq that's up 0.21%, and the SPX is 6052, so down 50 points, less than a percent, 0.82% down. So not too much. Again, we just want to apologize to everyone just because we had some issues going live. Seems like everything's sorted out. I think the audio and the video is all clear, so that seems good. Few things I want to talk about today. One is especially the oil move that's happened. We were talking about the oil move before as well, and how that move. I think we spoke about it yesterday as well. That how the oil move has actually gotten some investors rattled. Until and unless oil has a double, it has never been a worry. Now, what do I mean by that? If the price of oil, like, let me give you an example. The price of oil 2.5 to 3 weeks back was $54 a barrel. right? Every time you've seen a recession, every time you've seen the market collapse, every time you've seen any form of consumer demand getting affected, it has happened because oil has doubled in a single year. You can go all the way back to the '08 crisis, all the way back to 2000 crisis, all the way back to the Kuwait war, anything that was related to the Middle East. You always had a demand issue only when oil doubled in a single year. So, by that logic, if oil is able to go back to its $100 level, the year three, year five, year six bull market, all of that story ends very soon, very, very soon, right? I think I was talking to Sean about this as well. It seems likely that if it does go to 100, that party is going to end very soon for the bull market. But let me be honest, I don't think that's happening unless and until there is substantial retaliation from Iran and there is substantial retaliation henceforth from Israel as well, without America making sure that this, in a way, Donald Trump should pretty much bring everybody to the table to now be like, get the Iran deal done, get everything done. He even tweeted, he even did tweet and come out saying that, you might as well get it done because it will be the end of you otherwise. Uh, I mean, Iran did send 100 drones, but I mean, dude, I mean, missiles are not breaking the Iron Dome. I'm not sure what is going to. To that much of an extent, does Israel have the ability to hurt Iran? Sorry, does Iran have the ability to hurt Israel massively? It could. They're a large force. They're not as technologically advanced, so that does become an issue. But this is a larger concept. Understand this: the Strait of Hormuz is where more than, I'm guessing, 50%. From what I remember, it was over 40%, right? Let me actually just get this number because this will percentage of trade that passes through the Strait of Hormuz, right? 20% of the global LNG trade, 20% of the natural gas trade happens through the Strait of Hormuz. Now, 26% of the world's oil trade happens through the Strait of Hormuz, which is, in all seriousness, if you have to look at it that way, it's the Persian Gulf. So it must pass from there for everyone in the world to have their oil, which is why you're seeing emerging market economies, currencies, as well as economies taking a hit today. Because if the price of oil keeps rising the way it was today, it was 10% up exactly 12 hours back. As of now, oil is up just 6.93, about 7%. So, is that some recovery? No. 3% on oil can happen within 15 minutes and it can go back to 10%. Yeah, but they also have sanctions on them, so I'm not really sure if they're going to gain that much when they're doing it through just selling oil by itself. That wouldn't make a lot of sense for them to do. But to a large extent, Iran sanctions are not going to be allowing them to be pretty much selling any form of oil. That's not going to happen, right? It's tough for them to do it, especially with the Americans looking into it. It's tough for them to make a bloody nuclear bomb properly, right? Selling oil in itself can easily be tracked. I don't know if Sean, they're saying that you can't. Wait, let me see if I can. Yeah, go ahead. Can you guys hear him though? Sean, say something, bro. Okay. Anyways, so what I was trying to say was that it's not necessary that you need to uh, see oil double for it to see a hit. No, I don't think they can still hear you, Sean. Okay. Anyways, then just listen to my somber story of life. Okay. Here's the concept. If oil doubles, you're going to be able to see stock markets pretty much. Let me see if I can drop Sean out and then bring him in. Okay. Let me see if I can just try bringing him in. Yeah, Sean's freedom of speech is gone. He can't speak anymore. That's over. Okay, anyways, you guys should be able to hear me. If he joins, he joins. If he doesn't, so be it. Okay, long story short, uh, the price of oil is the defining factor of if we have to have a recession or no. The price of oil is also going to be a defining factor when we need to figure out if the Iranian nuclear deal will take place or not. Now, why? I'm not interested in the Iranian nuclear deal happening, not happening. It does not matter to me at that much of an extent. What matters to me is the concept that it is going to potentially hurt global economies, global trade, just because of the amount of trade that goes through that particular place. So, for that matter of fact, what you need to realize is that all said and done, there are only so many things that the US can do at the position that they're in right now. So, it is fascinating what all is happening right now. I wouldn't write into it too much about the fact that you are going to be seeing a lowering of prices. If it was going to escalate that much, the market is a lot smarter and it would be down a lot more than people would be thinking. Again, a lot of people are believing that it would be down 2-3%. It's down a percent. A percent is nothing, absolutely nothing. Now, why am I having this call with you an hour before, and I would have actually have had it at 9, considering that we didn't have any of these technical issues? But the reason why is because the most important thing right now is that things settle down. If they don't and they become something larger than what people are expecting it to become, you will have one of the worst recessions you would have seen compared to '08. And I have been saying this all the time, every time there's a Middle East flare up.
Mm.
Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen. My bets are still 99% on the fact, maybe not 99, maybe like 75% on the fact that nothing really happens. Things get solved. I don't really think it's going to be that much of an issue. Uh, at the same time, if they don't get solved, right? I mean, remember, he did kill the IRGC chief. He did kill one of their Navy chiefs. He did kill one of their Air Force chiefs. He killed two of the smartest, if not the best nuclear engineers that Iran could have had in order to help them build the bomb. Now, what Netanyahu says is that they were looking to build about 9 bombs, right? 9 atom bombs. I don't know what is true, what is not true, but that's not for us to decide. What is important for us is to see what the effect of it is going to be on the equity markets. The effect of it on the equity markets as of now has been absolutely non-noteworthy. Considering the fact that we're just down a percent, S&P is down less than a percent, 0.94, which is nothing. Okay, the VIX is up 11%. I would have expected it to be up at least 20-25%. It's at 20.13, which is not too much. So, all said and done, this is more of a call to let you guys know that shit's not hit the fan. So, calm down. Stop looking at all of that news. Maybe go spend some time, spend 4 minutes of your day in watching the video that I put up today about the Iran thing. It clearly tells you that if X, Y, and Z happens, what's going to happen. And if X, Y, and Z, which is that if oil doesn't double, if they do not retaliate to that much of an extent, things are going to be fine, right? As many people are dying, and as much as I want peace, the US China trade deal matters more than Iran Israel, unless it becomes a full fledged war. Then all bets are off. Guys, all that talk that I gave you about a 5%, 10% rally that we would see this year, next year, all of that is out of question if oil doubles and goes to. If oil sees a triple digit number, we're cooked. We're done. That story ends, right? Anyway, Sean, I just try seeing if they can hear you. So
No, I think it's the problem with my AirPods.
you need new AirPods.
Yeah, I need new everything.
Yeah, that is true. I'm hoping that they're able to hear you. I'm not sure if they can hear you, but if they can, then great. Uh, anyways, let me get to what I wanted to talk to you guys about. Sean, do you have the notes with you?
Yeah.
I think they can hear you now, Sean. Oh, hello, hello. How's it going? Sorry about the link that was there earlier, man. That was just effed up. It was just going here and there everywhere. Anyway, Sean, whenever you get those questions, just let me know what it was.
Yeah,
This
no,
was
I
my
was just
small little story that I wanted to give you for like 10 minutes, which was just stuck to the fact that the crux of everything is that the price of oil must not double in a single year. So as of last month, the low was 54. Pray to all the gods that you believe in that we don't see $100 number. If we do see $100 number, it's done. If we don't, we're okay. With the way
I,
currently it's looking like, with it being up about just 7%, if we can recover today itself, we're good to go. Else, I don't know what to say.
I think a lot of people have asking question. Might ask questions about saying how serious do you think the Israel and Iran conflict might is is right? How serious the conflict is, and do you think it could turn into a scale war?
My bet, no, on the second part. I don't think it's going to be a full fledged war. The only reason I'm saying that is I have no military experience to give you that answer, but I do have
Mm.
one psychological experience or something which the markets are smart. They start smelling things before things actually do happen. So remember that the markets always get to know that there's something that is going to happen and they start reacting in advance, right? A simple example of that is the inflation data that came out, the jobs data that came out. The market didn't rally because it had already run up on the expectations of that happening. Today's oil move that you're seeing of 7% is what you're seeing is on the run up that you're seeing potentially a conflict that goes on longer, because Israel has come out and said that, hey, our entire operation will last for another few weeks, if not days, right? Iran, on the other hand, has come out and said that they're going to retaliate and do everything. The only reason why I believe this will stay either a smaller regional conflict or die down in the next few days or over the weekend is, one, the guy at the White House does not want a war to start. He's trying to quell wars
Mm.
in this world. He's not been able to bring down the Russia Ukraine war in itself, the Israel Gaza war in itself. He's not going to try getting Israel into a new war altogether. And at the end of the day, he has a lot of power to stop these things from happening. Right? That's one. Two, Iran's economy is in a dire state, but the people that are there are also, at the end of it, everyone loves money. Okay. So no one wants to lose anything that they have. So to a large extent, they are going to continue want to be there in the concept of trying to make money. And if President Trump is able to give them some form of a carrot through a nuclear deal, they're going to be able to get it. Now, remember, if these guys have gone in and bombed the nuclear facilities in itself, they might as well make a deal now and get whatever they can. Because the concept of trying to not get the nuclear deal and build a new plant altogether and get all of that done is, anyways, you've lost that battle. You're not winning that battle because it's done, right? So there is nothing to it. It's like an insurance policy. You might as well just use it if your house is gone now. There's nothing you can do. So in all essence, I don't believe that it's going to turn into a massive conflict. I think the deal will involve something wherein maybe Iran is able to sell a little bit more oil to the world.
Mm.
In a way, keeps the price of oil lower. That is exactly what Donald Trump wants. He his concept was also drill baby drill, right? So if he really wanted drill baby drill, he doesn't want prices to go higher. He wants prices to go lower. So, and prices are up almost 7%, 10%, like 12 hours back. So that's not helping him. The consumer in America is going to be paying higher prices at the pump if this thing continues longer. So it is going to hurt everybody around this world, not just the Middle East. So keep that in mind. It's not going to lead to a large full scale war, in my opinion. Now, unless people decide that they have nothing to lose, and trust me, if that scenario happens, forget about YouTube Live, forget about everything, because this shit's going nuclear any which ways. As a viewpoint, I don't believe that's going to happen. Not one bit do I believe that's going to happen. And I'm not ready to write that doomsday letter any which ways, which is why every military conflict around the globe, I'm buying stocks. Because just in case it doesn't happen and the world's not gone to the shitters, you have the money and you've made the money on the way up. Right, let me just see what NR is saying. He says a few things preventing them from going ballistic: sanctions, low chances of winning in a direct conflict. I mean, they pretty much have no chances of winning in a direct conflict. Uh, they have like And the funny fact was why I don't believe it's going to be a full scale war is because they sent 100 drones. Do you know the last time when they killed, what was the guy's name? Hassan Nasrallah, the Hezbollah guy in Lebanon, and all the other people that they killed during that time? Iran sent 300 missiles, 300 ballistic missiles, or 300 missiles into Israel. They sent 100 drones right now when they kill their own people.
Yeah, but do you know that uh they set up drones inside Iran, the Israelis,
What do you mean by
to
the setup
counter.
drones? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You told me about that.
Yeah, they set
Yeah,
up drones
yeah. Maybe you
inside
should tell everybody what
Iran.
that was so they can like get to know about that.
So I
I'm
think
just going to go ahead
so.
and put the poll by then.
So the Mossad knew that there would be surface to air missiles hitting, the fighter pilots or hitting the missiles sent by the jets by Israel. So Mossad agents in Iran itself um, set up these drones that would essentially hit the surface to air missiles that Iran would send. So they were like two steps ahead of the Iranians, right? And then, Iran sent their Shaheed drones, which are basically lawnmowers. They aren't that fast compared to, um, say, a Predator drone or something, right? It just like cheaply built drones. So I'm like, it's no
Did you
match,
say
right? But you,
lawnmowers though, just so that I get that right?
yeah, it's like lawnmowers. If you see the Pakistan India thing that happened when Pakistanis sent the Shaheed drones. They turned out to have lawnmower motors
Oh, okay. So like I thought you
inside.
were just making fun of them. I didn't know that you
No, no,
actually meant it.
no, they are proper lawnmowers,
Oh, okay.
cheaply built
I
missiles.
didn't know that.
But I mean, you don't want to keep poking Iran also because Iran is also powerful. They're not dumb. But I think I think Israel did the right thing, but maybe they did the right thing. Who knows? But you don't want to simply attack a country just because they're getting nuclear enrichment, unless and until you expect Iran to just go full ballistic mode and attack Saudi Arabia and
Oh, dude, that didn't
UAE.
happen. That didn't happen. So last night, the White House came out with a statement which clearly meant and clearly said in the end, the last line, if you read it, it says, I think Marco Rubio wrote that part, and which said at the end that one, they were not involved in this whole thing, which means they were not spoken to and all of that. But the
Yeah,
last line said, let me be clear, Iran must not target American personnel or American facilities. So if they're going to enter Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, these are all protected by the American forces on ground.
wow.
So there is no way that that is happening in my story. And guess what? If that happens, that could
You're
be
screwed.
like a Kuwait war, like a Saddam war that happened again,
Yeah,
which also did turn out to be a great buying opportunity. But that's not a day buying opportunity. You can't buy it today and expect markets to recover tomorrow. That's going to take some hit, right? Anyways, my bet in this whole story is I do believe that if not today, if things do even slightly simmer, slightly today, it'll turn into a green day, right? So Sharik's in the house. Sharik, how's it going? Sharik's asking how you all feel about the markets today. So perfect. Let me get to that question. What I'm trying to say is that if we don't see drones fired today and shit settles down as of now, I believe the markets can recover. Can oil recover? I think today's move will be if oil reverses, you will see equity markets rallies as well. Now there will be certain amount of drones that will be sent from Iran. There will be because as soon as you enter nighttime, you're going to start seeing these effects play out, right? That's when the attacks happen. That's when all of this happens. What I believe is by Sunday, we should be good to go. The week ahead, we're fine, right? My bet, Wednesday evening, Thursday evening, when we're having this live, we're going to be talking about Jerome Powell and his meeting, not about this conflict. This is my bet. If I was a buy, I'm 100% invested, so trust me, I'm saying it with a bias. But at the same time, what I'm trying to also say is that this has happened in the past. This shit keeps happening, right? Do you guys remember the time when I think Trump ordered the strike on Qasem Soleimani, the IRGC chief in Baghdad? The dude was getting out of the airport and he literally put an airstrike and killed the guy. And Iran said that they're going to finish the whole of America and something else and whatever else happened. time passed, there was a new chief, the new chief got killed, and today another new chief got killed. So like people are dying, people pass. I'm all for people not dying, but I'm also for the story of capitalism, right? I want everyone, including everyone on this channel, to make money. That's the concept here, right? World peace is also what I stand for, but at the end of it, we just have 1 hour on YouTube live, and I can talk about how to make money, right? No one's listening to me about world peace, so screw that. But
You just said screw world peace.
no, I'm not saying screw world peace. I'm not saying that you should screw world peace. All I'm trying to say is that if you have to make money out of this, at least make money. At least make money out of it,
They're
right?
like, we'll buy the industrial military complex.
So I'm just saying. I
So
mean, it's the world of capitalism. You can do whatever.
quote quote him on that.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so as of now, we're just listening to some news which comes in saying uh, sirens sound in Israel's north. Okay, cool. But
Buying
it's just
opportunities. It's silence for buying
yeah, exactly.
opportunities.
Like Buffett says, right? When there's blood on the streets, you go in and buy. Till now, there's no blood on the streets, but I'm guessing. So Iran tells UN Security Council Iran will respond decisively, proportionately to Israel's unlawful. Remember the word proportionately. Keep that in mind. My bet, their proportions are not going to be that the Israeli generals are going to be killed. That's not happening, according to me. Right. The day that I got to know about you remember those walkie-talkies that blew up everywhere, or those pagers that blew up everywhere? That shit made me realize that these guys are 2 to 3 steps ahead of everybody else in that region. So they're fine with the way that they're going. Our worry is not towards any of that. I hope everybody lives. My story is only towards oil. If the price of oil hits 100, your party's over. Why
Mm.
does that happen? The US consumer pays on prices on the pump. Those prices are going to skyrocket. You're entering summer season when people want to travel. When everybody takes a car out, they're going to drive. Gasoline demand is going to be high. At the same time, people might just cancel if they start seeing oil prices double, because $3, $4 on the pump will try becoming 5, 6, 7. What are you going to do? You're not going to go anywhere. Because if your bill was 600, $700 on fuel, now you're going to be spending 1,500 on fuel. Consumer demand drops, discretionary demand drops. It's not just an American thing, it's going to happen world over in oil importing countries like India, China. All of these guys are going to eventually. America might be the world's biggest exporter of oil, but at the end of the day, the consumer needs more money in his pocket in order to spend, right? The country is not subsidizing you by that 15-20% that the oil has gone up. It's not happening. So again, I don't think it's going to become a regional conflict. I don't think it's going to be too much. I am always bullish. So take that with a pinch of salt. But at the end of all of this, my bet is maybe not today. You might not see a green day today. If you do, then that's great. That basically tells you that, hey, listen, this is a serious, serious bull market. If you see the markets get into the green today, this is a very, very serious bull market. Stop doubting it. Markets are heading higher. If you see the markets recover by next week as well, even after the Fed Powell meeting, because trust me, the market can deal with one issue at one time, right? At the moment, trade was the issue, tariffs was the issue. That is out of the picture. Now you have this new Israel Iran conflict. That's the issue. Once this dies out, markets are going to recover instead. Like we said yesterday, markets need a reason to climb up. They need to climb a wall of worry. And this is a very good reason for a wall of worry.
Okay, so I just have a question. If say let's say we're all wrong, right? Say there's a
Oh, we're
very
doomed
full
if
on
we're all
no
wrong.
no, I'm not saying nuclear war. I'm just
Oh,
saying
okay.
it's one step short of nuclear war. And the market keeps falling and gold keeps going up. Would you say like, oh, sell everything and buy gold? Is
No,
gold a
I
safe
never say
haven?
sell everything. I'm not of the concept of sell everything. I would only suggest you to sell everything is if I only would suggest you to sell everything when the markets have become too overvalued, not when you have issues like these. Because there are reasons for markets to recover when you have issues, right? Somewhere around February, March, I sold a large part of our portfolio. Around March, we sold a large part of our portfolio
Yeah.
because the uncertainty was so much that the equity prices did not seem worth it. And guess what? Even after we sold, the markets recovered. So we did face potential prospective losses or prospective gains that we could have made were our losses to bear, right? But within a week on April, the markets tanked, stocks tanked, everything tanked way more than what it was in March. So keep that in mind, because at the end of the day, the game is to make money, right? And the only way you make money is by being right. So I actually do feel that if you don't see follow through selling, if you don't see 2.5, 3% down on the Nasdaq, on the S&P 500 by the end of today, the market starts discounting news, bro. Here's what happens: the market starts believing that, okay, he fired so and so missiles, he killed so and so people. These guys didn't hit back that much. So if they're not going to hit back that much and they don't hit it over the weekend, also, we have other problems on hand. What are the other problems on hand? On Wednesday, Thursday, we have a man in Washington that's going to sit and decide on the interest rate policy for the next year. And that's the talk that we're going to have. I've seen this play out, I don't know how many times in the Middle East, and this is all that happens. They keep saying they're going to annihilate each other. They don't annihilate anybody. Life moves on. Equity traders like us go in and buy. Most retail traders get shit scared and they stay away from it. Right? I mean, we're what, 15 minutes away from opening? We're at 21,630 any which ways. So, which is, the S&P is still down less than a percent. Right? Wage Freedom says if people feel confident enough to hold through the weekend, it speaks loudly. That's true. That is absolutely true. And
Buy and hold.
sorry,
Buy and hold.
I mean, if you've already bought, just hold, and if you've not bought, then why wouldn't you buy today, right? Like they say, right? You buy when you see missiles flying over your head, but you don't necessarily want to be in either in Israel or in Iran's place and watch those missiles fly. But you're able to gain from it, right? So might as well just go in and buy. And I mean, you're not getting too many buying opportunities, anyways, right? Everyone right now has been screaming of a 5,400, 5,000 on the S&P as a pullback. Let me bust this myth for you once and for all. And I'm going to keep doing this on our lives for years to come. You do not see very large pullbacks in bull markets. They get eaten up very soon. Every time you think that the pullback's going to get larger and larger and larger, the green candle that comes up, the market reverses way stronger and faster. And you believe that that's the pullback to upwards. Do you know the amount of people that believed that this was a bear market rally? This whole fall that happened in April, everyone believed that the recovery that was happening after that was a bear market rally. Absolute joke. You don't see bear market rallies go all the way back close to their previous highs. Even if you adjust for today's fall, right? Let me do this actually. Let me see how much lower are we. Even if you adjust for today's fall, we're 2.8% away from an all time high. We were 2% away from an all time high yesterday. We're 0.8% away. That's the difference of the whole conflict. So enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your Saturday, Sunday. This shit settles down next week or today or tomorrow or the week after. And here's the kicker: I don't know it's going to happen. If it doesn't happen, and you actually do have missiles flying all over the world, we're not going to have this talk 3 weeks later or 2 weeks later. So, what other option do you have other than buying?
Sell.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Sell and do sell and do what? What are you going to do with that money? Sit and look at it?
I think we should sell and just buy Lambos, dude.
Yeah, I wish we could do that.
Hey, it's
What are we? 12 minutes away?
it's realized gains, dude.
Yeah, I got to pay bloody taxes on realized gains, bro.
You don't have to pay taxes. Just evade. Evade. It works out well. That's what I heard.
Oh, that's what you heard. Hmm, fair enough. Death and taxes, right? But you're the one
Uh,
that told me that.
yeah.
Death and taxes are the two things we can't avoid. Anyways, in more important things, uh, the only wheels my portfolio can buy are Hot Wheels.
Same. I can buy two.
Why do all these guys have the same name, man? I thought when they said Hossein Salami, his name is Salami.
Because they're all cousins.
Okay, so that's why he has a surname called Salami. Anyways, okay, cool.
And not,
Uh,
it's not halal.
BFA sees path for gold to rally to 4,000 over the next 12 months. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, so that's that when it comes to the market, guys. Do we have anything more that we wanted to talk about, Sean? On
Yeah, I think. Sorry. It's such a bad joke, but I kind of like it. Uh, yeah, but I think, um,
you had some questions that you wanted to ask me. I don't know what it was.
yeah, I think what sectors would benefit from this
Oh,
conflict? I'm
defense,
pretty
bro.
sure
Defense.
defense, like,
Look at Lockheed Martin. I
look,
can bet my life on it that the stock is up.
what is that company? Not Andrew.
No,
It's that.
Anduril is private.
No, yeah, not Andrew.
Yeah,
What is
Lockheed
that?
Martin's up 3% in a down market.
The
Right.
the defense company that we like
Palantir.
about Palantir. Oh, PLTR.
Yeah, but Palantir, I'm not. I mean, it could be up, but I don't think so. Because yeah, it's down 1.5%. The reason why it's not up is because they don't directly sell anything to Israel or to Iran,
I thought
right?
they sell to.
They work with them, but they're not. Dude, remember, nothing's changing. No one's going to pay Palantir more money just because today I'm in a war.
Yeah.
But tomorrow, if today I'm in a war, I need missiles, I need weapons. Who's going to provide me with that? Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, right? I'm pretty sure. So Lockheed Martin's up 2.5% in a down market, right? Raytheon should also be up.
Wow. Oh my God. Palantir is up like 120%.
What?
So, I mean, not now. I mean, seeing
Oh yeah,
from
that's been a crazy ride any which ways.
from January till now.
Yeah, but anyways, so
Crazy.
the sectors that benefit are going to be defense and obviously oil stocks. So
Once you have
you
Boeing,
you have a US oil fund, that's an ETF. It's called USO. So whenever you guys want to check it, if you ever want to buy oil, there's not physical barrels of oil, but you want to buy a fund, go and look at something called as USO, right? That is currently up 7% in pre-market. So let me just put it in the chat. So if you guys ever want to go ahead, if you ever want to buy a position in oil or you want to go long on oil, you can look at something like USO. It's basically a US focused oil fund with, they don't own oil per se. They own refineries, they own stakes in shale production. So they own other companies that are involved in oil, which is why they tend to gain. Oil's up 7%, US oil is up 7%, USO is up 7%. So they have a direct correlation. So if you believe that it's going to go to $100, I don't believe that. If you believe it's going to go to $100, USO is your price. USO is your ETF that you should be buying. And it trades at about what, 75 as of yesterday's close. It's at $80.46 right now. So up about $5 or 7%. So that is that, right? So when it comes to sectors, there's nothing, man. Commodity, gold, right? What are the important things? Remember this. A lot of people have asked me, I don't own gold, not $1 in gold. But here's the benefit of gold.
but what about buying ETFs? Would you buy physical contracts?
For
No, would you buy gold contracts or would you buy gold
okay,
physical?
buy gold however you like it, right? If you think if you want to look at it and see it shine, you should buy it physically. If you don't care and you don't have a place to keep it, you might as well buy it online, like you buy it as an ETF. So you could do that as well. Don't trade it because of how CFD trading works. It doesn't make sense. And I would also suggest never go buy gold miners, Freeport and all these other ones. Fremont that's there. There's another one that's there which is pretty famous. Anyways, but don't waste your time on all of that. Just go buy gold by itself if you want to. The only reason
Mhm.
why I have a bullish view of gold over 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, it'll never beat equity returns. Let's just be honest about that, please. That story has ended long back of gold beating equity returns in the short term, medium term. That might happen. In the long term, it will not happen. Tech will beat returns of gold, all said and done. The only reason why gold has value compared to treasuries, compared to anything else, is because gold does not default. The value of gold goes up because people around the world want to wear it as jewelry, people want to gift it to other people, and people believe it's a safe haven asset. And if many people start believing, the price goes higher over time. And if you've been told by your family members that gold is a better investment, go ahead and buy it. But
Would
the
you
only reason why
recommend
gold makes
buying?
sense is because it does not default. That's
Well,
it.
would you, other than gold, do you recommend buying like properties, land?
I mean, that's for each person to decide when it comes to like properties, land, and all of that. But if it's just personal finance that's involved, I'm not part of the concept of renting. That's not my story. I believe if you can, and if you can by whatever means rent till you get a certain amount of money, wherein you can pay the down payment for a house, and maybe one third of your salary
Oh,
is what you put down towards your EMI. Otherwise, don't.
is like 10x, 10x, bro.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
Grant
like,
Cardone.
in all essence, it just doesn't make sense to. This renting for life concept is a joke, is an absolute. The peace of mind that you get by owning real estate allows you to take more risks. You There is a direct correlation between enhanced risk in your portfolio when you own a house versus when you got to worry about the next 6 months of paying rent. So talk is cheap when it comes to everyone that says that rent's an easier way of living. If obviously you're staying short term somewhere, rent makes sense. Otherwise, it's just bullshit, right? It's absolute crap. That's according to me. To each his own. So gold will, according to me, in all essence, stay as a safe haven. I don't believe that's going to change ever, right? So that's that as well. We say rents go up faster than paychecks. That's true, but think of it this way: if you can eventually get yourself a place and put it up on rent, you might as well be in the game of where rents go up, so you earn more, rather than be in the game of trying to figure out uh, how is it that I can save more money, invest more money. If that's your concept, that's okay. Like if you're making $100,000 and you have to pay like $25,000 on rent, that's fine. It doesn't matter then, right? Because then you have $70,000 even discretionary to do whatever you want with. But otherwise, it's not that much of an issue. Anyways, the personal finance we can keep for another day, bro. And most people wouldn't agree with me and my thoughts on personal finance. In essence, what I would say, that in the grand scheme of things, the equity market is staying very, very strong. If I had to tell you last week that the biggest leaders of Iran's military group are going to get killed and bombs are going to be flying and rockets are going to be flying, you would have expected a 2 to 5% drawdown on the S&P. The
Yeah.
fact that oil has a 6% drawdown, 7 when we started the live, 6 now, right, is clear to tell me that it's very likely that oil can reverse. If we don't have flare ups as well, equity markets will reverse. And they will, trust me, remember, when they do reverse, they will reverse faster than you can imagine. So when that happens, you don't really have time, right? Trump goes on to say to the Wall Street Journal that attack would be great for the market because Iran will not have a nuclear weapon. What? Wait, attack would be great for the market. I'm guessing he means the stock market because Iran will not have a nuclear. Okay, I don't know what that means, but fair enough. I think
I
what he
think
means to
he's
say is that
saying,
the fact that the attack happens and Iran can't have a nuclear weapon, it saves us from the world coming to an end if Iran decides to bomb the living daylights out of everybody. Okay, anyways, let's see if we get more of these updates from Trump because he's apparently speaking to Wall Street Journal at the moment. But yeah, let me just see what else is there there's something that I wanted to talk to you guys about. I did make a note of it, so let me just go in and check. What was the topic? Do you have the note, Sean? Did I send it to you? Or those were your notes that you were talking from? Uh, yeah, so one of the things that I wanted to talk about was, can this trigger a bigger financial crisis? Let me get to that. post the market opening. So we have like maybe just a minute for market to open. Most stocks are still down over 2%. So stocks would be hit pretty hard, 2 to 3% on most stocks, some of them even 4%. But the index is not getting killed. 1% on the Nasdaq at the moment, 1.05 on the S&P 500 futures. Bond yields are steady. I would have expected that to start spiking up. That didn't happen. Some of the emerging market currencies have been rallying. Let me also just see what's happening with the USD JPY, which shortly would have taken a shit. Yeah, 144 400. So that's up at the moment. But yeah, gold also should be, gold's up about 1.7%. So that's at 3443. I think the previous highs were 3600 from what I remember. So that's still got some amount of move all the way upwards to 3500 at least. Oil's at 6.35. Nothing else is crazy. Crypto took a shit. So all of
Yeah.
your Bitcoin, Ethereum, and everything else pretty much collapsed. They were at 110,000, I think, during the highs of the week. They're at about 104,000. So, anyways, that's that. Markets opened. Nasdaq's down less than a percent, down about 9.9. So, make what you want out of it. I don't really see anything crazy happening out here. So, for me, it's okay. If you can live through today, trust me, you can live through a lot of stuff. What are most of the guys on the poll saying? Yeah, most people still expect a red day, man. I would say 2 out of 3 people expect a red day for today. Very likely. I mean, we're still 0.85% down, right? My bet is we'll turn green if things simmer. If they don't, next week will be green, but we'll take out today's high or yesterday's high. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. Gun to my head, I don't think the market's going to collapse as much as people think it is. And this fear is going to make more people stay away, which is when the markets recover, then it's it's just going to be fun to watch it happen because when it recovers, it'll head way higher than what people expect. Okay, let me go ahead and see. Yeah, what are we down 0.75 now on the Nasdaq? So that's saying something. Anyways, let's see. Let's see how these things play out. I mean, I don't want to go ahead and let you guys know beforehand that it's going to turn in the green and all of that. That's my view. So
It's broken. Seeing the markets. Oh
really,
wow, it's picking up a
yeah,
little.
it will. I mean, see, till the time more bombs don't fly, this is this is cool. We're okay. Mm, I don't really understand this concept when Trump's saying that he believes that the attack is great for the market because Iran will not have a nuclear weapon. I'm not sure how that works out, but the other issue is that I'm hoping that they're able to make a deal if they don't have the bloody weapon, right? Because what else is the whole concept? Oh yeah, you're right. It's the art of the deal. That's true. I've been saying that since so long. I'm sick and tired. Yeah, what are we down 0.5%, guys, on the Nasdaq? So, and most stocks that were down about 4% are down less than two now. Some stocks that were down about 2% are down less than a percent. Again, I don't want to go jump the gun and let you guys know that it's all going to be fine. It could get worse, but not in my books, not my view at the moment. Okay, let me get to what I wanted to talk to you guys about for a minute or two, and then we can all go our own ways. Uh, Two things. Can this trigger a bigger financial crisis? If things escalate even a bit more, and by a bit more, I don't mean to say a few missiles. By that, I mean to say it is in Iran's hand to not escalate. It is also in Israel's hand to decide how to retaliate. All of that gets discounted into the price of oil. So even if you don't watch the news, just watch the price of oil. If you see the price of oil go lower, it's because these tensions have simmered and things look better. If the price of oil starts heading higher and we start heading towards the $90 $100 per barrel, all bets are off. Bull market's off. Consumers going to get crippled when it comes to discretionary spending. It has happened in the past. It will happen in the future. Oil has a direct impact to discretionary spending. That's going to take a hit. So Could it trigger a global financial crisis? May not be a financial crisis, but I do believe it can trigger a consumer demand destruction, which can lead to a recession. Right now, in that recession, can you have a financial crisis? Possibly so, but can you get a recession because of this? Yes, if oil starts heading higher, you will see it happen. You will see it happen. Forget about it. If you will see it happen, you for sure will see it happen if oil hits $100 per barrel. Anyways, my personal base case for all of this is, I don't know what Sean your base case
You
is, but
you
my base
think you
case is
think
I
this
think this shit's
is
going to end
in a
in
month?
in a oh bro, a month is a long time. Trust me, if this shit is going on for a month, if we're talking about this a month later, we're doomed. I believe this shit's going to end in less than 7 days, maybe over the weekend. And however bullish my ass is, I believe that can happen even within
But do you
maybe the
think
next 24 hours.
do you think Iran actually achieved nuclear enrichment, or they're just
Oh,
screwing
possibly
around?
so. Israel wouldn't go down. I mean, now, I don't know. This could be again like the art of a deal and the game of bluffing and all of that. But I would guess that Iran would have been very close to getting its nuclear bomb. Again, they did come out and say that they had everything. They had enriched enough uranium. All they needed was machinery. And once they got their machinery done and dusted, then they have the bomb. Once they have the bomb, you're not going to be able to negotiate properly.
Because I don't think Iran is going to bend down so easily to the United States because they're pretty much against United States, right? They start chanting that to America, burning
Dude,
the
I think that's a lot of
flags.
narrative, man. At the end of the day, this is my personal belief. I don't really know. I think everybody just wants to make money.
Mm.
As much as they admit it or don't admit it, I'm the first one to admit it when it comes to me. I think everyone wants to make money and everyone wants peace, right? So, if signing that nuclear deal saves you from sanctions, allows you to get a SWIFT based economy, allows you to have global trade, because remember, Iran by itself, before the revolution, was a very powerful country, still is, but it was very powerful in trade during the Shah, the times of the Shah, right? So it wasn't a very regressive minded economy. And I mean, there's a lot of lobbying and there's a lot of other stuff that happens. So I don't really think that it's going to be that much of an issue. I think, you know what, it'll eventually just simmer out and things will work out. Everyone here just wants a win, bro. Israel wants a win. They're getting one handed to them in plate. Now, Iran would want a win. They've sent their drones. They'll possibly send some ballistic missiles, blow up something here and there. It's not like they don't have firepower, right? So they could just pretty much do stuff. One of the things that guy did see was Hezbollah spokesperson came out and said that we're not going to initiate any retaliation. So one of the questions that we had was about proxy wars, right? Because see, the only reason we're talking of geopolitics today and not about markets in its sense to that much of an extent is because what we're trying to tell you is that today geopolitics takes center stage. Because what happens today in geopolitics will affect the price of oil, which will affect financial markets.
Yeah.
So sometimes you need to look at macro. Not all the time, but sometimes you need to look at macro, right? So you must remember that that is something that's very, very important. Please do remember that we will have times when we will be having discussions purely on macro because that is the most important thing. Like today is one of those days, right? I have no fun in talking about Israel, Iran, or any of this and people dying everywhere. There's no fun in this, right? Why are we doing this is because we want to make money, and I'm not saying we want to make money because people are dying. What I'm trying to say is that understanding how these narratives are formed and to play it smartly is for you to make money, right? At the end of the day, all the wars in the world, we got to still pay our bills. That is what I keep telling everybody. As people might believe that I'm heartless or whatever, we have to pay our bills. No one's going to pay for our bills, not even our government, so forget about other people. Just
Yeah.
my story. Let me just get to a few of those questions, Sean.
No, see to
Jason says you were right yesterday about the intraday bullish. Nice call, dude. Trust me, that was just 110% luck. Nothing else. Nothing about it. My call today, if I had again gun to my head, don't trade based on what I'm saying, is we're going to end in the green, or we're going to go into the green at some point of time, for sure. Right? That's my bet. I don't think this thing is going to simmer out unless and until you see 1,000 rockets entering into Israel or vice versa. Again, I think that story is over and done with. Let me just check what's happening with oil before I go into the next one that's there. Oil's up about 6%, so fair enough. If you start seeing oil about 3.5, 4%, I think the market will be in the green. All right, so keep a watch on that. Anyways, Jason, nice to see you that you joined in. Uh, Glossy Q2 earnings slides won't matter if macro is bad. That is actually a very good point. But let me tell you the flip side to that. Q2 is ending in 15 days, right? The second quarter ends in 15 days. Companies have already had 2 months and 15 days on an average of data with them that's accounting. 2 weeks here and there is not going to change anything. Firstly, Israel Iran is not going to change anything as much as tariffs would have. Right? I think everybody would agree with me that tariffs as a scenario, global tariffs, retaliation, reciprocation, whatever it be, all those words, right? Like the Liberation Day and all of that, it was Obliteration Day. It wasn't no liberation. It was proper as Obliteration Day. What I believe is Q2 will be great. Q3 and Q4 will be decent as well. We might have bumps in Q3 because of prices going up and down, but eventually by the year end and all of that, things are going to work out and go ahead, right? If I had to make a call based on what I worry about today more than anything, is not Israel Iran. It is not even in my top three of worries at this moment. The biggest worry I have is the state of the employment market in America. The employment market is cooling. The job market is not getting better. If you have a job, you're okay. If you lose your job, it is getting tough to get a job. It is taking longer. That is not signs of a strong economy. That is signs of a labor market slowing and an economy slowing steadily. The good part is we didn't get slapped on our face with bad economic data in a single minute or in a single reading. It's taking time for it to seep into the economy, which is a good thing. We have time to recover. If the Fed cuts, things might look better. Is the Fed going to cut? No. Sorry to break that to you guys. There is no Fed rate cuts coming anytime soon, unless and until shit hits the fan, right? Which, if that happens, then again, like I'm saying, the market's not. Everyone has this concept that, oh, let's just go break down the index by the Fed funds rate by 1%, and that's going to be great for the markets. No, it's not. If you drop the interest rates that the Fed has by a percent, markets are going to crash. They're going to fall because they're hit with uncertainty. If you telegraph that few months in advance and then do it, that's a different story altogether, right? So let me just get to this. Sean, you have anything? Then ask me. Otherwise, we're going to end this pretty quickly. But market's down about 0.6%, 0.66%. Nothing too
Before was
much.
down 4%, now it's down 1. So
Yeah, a lot of them are like, I remember seeing Starbucks, which was down about 2.5. It's down about 0.3 and could be going into the green also. Anyways, anything more from you, Sean? Do you want to say anything to anyone?
now, happy trading. Buy when the market is down. But investing is a long game, I guess. So
Yeah, you just got to chill, man. Just enjoy your weekends. Have fun. Nice to see all of you in. Uh, let's call this quits a bit early today so that all of you guys can go in and enjoy. And sorry about the issues that we faced in the start. We're still trying to fix all of these things wherein we're able, like two of us or three of us are able to join in.
yeah,
Maybe one day we'll try getting in Nikhil as well with Sean and me. We'll just have to figure out a different platform to do it from. I mean, we'll do it on YouTube, but a different platform. So we'll figure some stuff out.
yeah.
At the end of it, let me just break this out for you guys so that all of you that are here know this. Don't shit in your pants because of Israel Iran. Markets are most likely going to be heading higher. These are all my views. I believe today itself we should turn. If not, by next week we should break our previous highs. Powell's going to be dovish. No reason for him to be bearish.
Yeah.
He cannot be bringing in the Israel Iran geopolitical things into his thought process as of now. So don't worry about that. The more issues that Trump has to face when it comes to any of these wars and tensions, the less effect it will have on his trade talks and his ability to negotiate because he needs these deals to happen. I've been saying this since a while. Trump needs a win. His wins are going to come not from Israel, Iran. His wins are going to come from his trade deals. So keep a watch for that and what happens there. Okay. So anyways guys, enjoy your Friday, enjoy your weekend. Maybe if things get funny, I will do a post market, like a weekly ending call. Otherwise, let's see, maybe a Saturday, Sunday, or something that way. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit the bell, because I will come live at any moment, anytime, if things go crazy. So that's that. And good night and have a good weekend until we see you guys on Monday or before that. Go ahead, subscribe
So,
guys, and just hit that bell so you know when I come online. Take care of yourselves, enjoy, have fun with your family. Take
thank you,
care.
Rage Freedom.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.